2023 elections and the matters arising. Senator Adesheye Ogunlewe is my guest on the show this morning, former Minister of Works and a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress. Thank you so much, sir, for staying the course on the program. So earlier we were talking about Lagos and how the Southwest will show support for your party in the coming election. And you were saying that there is no opposition in Lagos. Did I get that quite right? There are some who will a little bit disagree with you if you look at the figures from the last election, that it would seem that the margin has been growing leaner and leaner, particularly when you consider how Lagosians have voted for federal elections and the state. But in this 2023 election, we're going to be seeing a return of the incumbent governor who is asking for yet another 4 years. What is your perception of his performance in the previous years? And will it matter how people decide the next governor of the state?
It is about marketing. In terms of performance, he has a lot to show. But people must know and be convinced that those achievements are real. And they are numerous. You cannot count them. But it requires skill to persuade the Lagosians to vote more. The issue of winning is not the matter at all. But which number of votes can we gather together to support Bola Tinubu? It's not about winning. Winning, to my mind, is not an issue in whatever form. No matter what anybody is saying, if we sit down together and we, list the members of your party who can deliver one single polling booth, and you will list 500,000 from APC, people who have political experience that can win polling units. I am part of them. I know. I was part of them. If you mention a name of any politician in this state, either APC or PDP or Labour Party, I will tell you the result. Because I have been with them, I know them individually, and I know how they can perform in a given polling unit. So I can't see that in any other political party other than APC. The volume of members of APC is too intimidating that you can never defeat them.
Let's take Reverend Dominic's call. He's called in from Alimosho. Good morning, Reverend.
Good morning, Femi. Good morning, Elder Statesman, Dr. Ogunlewe. Good morning, sir.
Morning, how are you?
I'm very good, sir.
Long time.
Elder Ogunlewe, you're very passionate and a very good politician. Yesterday, I made a statement about politician, Kazim, tried to insult me. And what do I mean by this? Like what Elder has said there. Every time there's a dispensation of election, sir, you see our people, politicians, going to Niger State to go to meet, to stop the man who have governed this nation 25 years ago and went to rest. IBP have behaved well. Like what Femi was saying, 80% endorsement doesn't make sense. Why is it every cycle of the year? You see our politicians go to a man who is almost 80, who have done his best and went to retirement. We still go to him. What does he brought to the table? And this is a class of average politician I'm talking about. But this is my question, sir. Sir, you have done well about the letter of Olusegun Obasanjo, but I was privileged to listen to him about that letter. What Obasanjo wants to do about that letter, he told us privately, is that the war has ended about 50 years ago. But the war of understanding, the war of unity, the Biafran war is still on. That we need somebody from the Southeast, not only from the Southeast, just anybody, an intelligent man, a man who is younger, who could not govern Nigeria, and it becomes the end of the war, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. Dr. Gunda was a very state man. You said truth all the time. Is it fair? Is it equitable? Is it justifiable that for over 50 years, a man from Southeast cannot govern Nigeria? And that was Obasanjo's main point of leader. But people don't want to understand it. That is to heal Nigeria wound for civil war, which he participated. He told us that his car is on his body and his son's body. That the man from Southeast must become a president, not just anybody, but young, agile for Nigeria today. Edda, what do you think about justice and fairness our local has? if we have a man. I don't know where I belong to again. I fought for Buhari, and APC is where I belong to in vote. But I don't know where to vote the next month because of what I'm trying to say. I come from Southeast. And if we fought for APC, what we're fighting is that we have a man after the North, he will come to South or Southeast. But what is fair today? What is equitable today? You can answer a question. When an elder man said, good morning, God bless you.
All right, you heard the clergyman, right?
I know him very well.
Yes, and you understand his position about regional politics and how perhaps the presidency from the Southeast is going to emotionally put an end to all of this infightings. What are your thoughts about it?
I am a lover of the Southeast people. There is no doubt at all. Even in the politics of Lagos State, I am one person who midwife them to the position they are in our structure. But they are never united. I know them thoroughly. How can a Soludo, who is a governor, say what he's saying about Peter Obi from his own state? Ato Eze. How can he be saying things like that against people from the Southeast? Do they need to be united and have a singular vehicle to make sure that they speak with one voice? Why are you allowing other people to benefit from your division? So they need to work on it. It is a very good assumption that we must look at the Southeast. But the Southeast must be prepared to provide a united front to fight their battle. The more they are divided, the more other people will benefit from it.
Well, it's the same intricacies and complexity that we discussed earlier about inter-party collaboration, because even within the Southeast, so there are governors that belong to the PDP, there are governors that belong to the APC. Do you expect that they could have collapsed the political structure to advance regional politics?
Look at the Southwest. At a point when we had AG, everybody won the platform, election in the Southwest on the platform of AG. I believe that was why they started ABGA. But they didn't support ABGA totally. So if you look at the Southeast itself, how many of their governors have
Let me
the
hold
Labour
you.
Party?
Let me kind of hold that thought, Senator. Joshua has called in from Irewolide. Good morning, Joshua.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And Happy New Year to you. I also greet the ex-minister for works. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, for me, I will speak first. I will start on a positive note that Tinubu's presidency is a Nigerian project for me. The reason why I'm standing behind the man is not that he doesn't have issues like all Nigerians, but I think that we are having a candidate that represents the Nigerian project, that is speaking to the Nigerian project. And the little I know, coming from the accounting sector, is that this is a man who can interpret figures. Nigeria needs an intelligent man at this time who can read reports, who can interpret figures. And we also need a human being to govern Nigeria. This man, for me, is detribalized and he is good at his work in terms of politics. Now, for Obasanjo's endorsement, we are talking too much about it. Wike just revealed that Obasanjo knelt down for his vice to get a second term. That kind of a person is not a leader for me. And it is time for Nigerians to realize that we should not allow ourselves to be used by these past leaders. Obasanjo has no opinion about Nigeria. Obasanjo was a former leader. He has a scorecard. He has a record of performance that has put Nigeria where it is today. Who is he endorsing? 16 billion for power, and we were in darkness throughout. Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, they paid for it, and they didn't execute that project. And, I mean, these things are scorecards for him as a leader that he should be talking about, not giving us an opinion. Nigeria is not an opinion. They should just stop working on the psyche of people, because most of the people are not.
I believe you made your point, Joshua. That's your time. Thank you so much for your contribution. I'm not sure you will completely agree with him about his position on ambassador, because I had read somewhere that you were even one of those people who asked the former president to seek a third time.
Yes.
So you probably wouldn't agree with him.
Well, definitely. He spoke about Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. Let me tell you, at the federal level, there's no way you can divert money, because the National Assembly will be on your back and they will expose you.
But why would you want ambassador to go a third time?
Number two, no, I did not agree with him at all.
Okay.
Because he said he was not interested too.
Okay.
So how could you agree with somebody who said he was not interested? So there was no diversion. It was given to boycotting as a private company to do for 4 years, and he didn't perform. So there was no diversion in whatever form.
Mohammed has called in from Abuja. Good morning, Mohammed.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Sorry. What is that your name again?
My name is Nifemi Mohammed.
Sir?
Nifemi.
Okay. Good morning.
Love me, love me.
Elder statesman.
Thank you.
I'm greeting the elder statesman there.
Thank you.
And I'm totally agree with his views. Nobody's against the Southeast. The Southeast is ripe to produce a president, but not now. Now it's too late for them, because they miss it from the beginning. No matter what support they get now, you can see the North. The North is quiet. Nobody is talking in the North. And that is our politics. Nobody is talking in the North. All the governors in the North, even including the PDP governors, nobody is talking. We are all quiet. We are just watching. The fight now is between Southwest, Southeast, and South-South. So we are just watching. When it is time, we will now prove it in the ballot paper, in the ballot box. So the Southeast should wait now. Let the man that is working now continue to work. Let him reach everywhere, all the crannies. The way Tinubu did, Tinubu spent over 40 years, reaching all the knocks and crannies on all over Nigeria. The Southeast, the South-South, the Southwest, the Northeast, the Northwest, the North Central. Nobody has not had a blessing of Tinubu. As is nobody. Tinubu is nobody. He left government for over 10 years, but nobody will tell you that the big men, the big politicians, all of them, they had a blessing of one way or the other of Tinubu. Tell me anybody that will come out and say he had a blessing of Peter Obi. Who is Peter Obi now? Let him work now. Then later on he can now come up with his own plan, but we are just watching.
I believe you made your point, Mohammed from Abuja. Thank you so much for your contribution. Recall that the earlier caller, Joshua, had mentioned about the mental capacity of your candidate. You were on the delegation of Ashiwaju to Chatham House.
No,
right?
no.
Oh, you weren't. I thought that was wrongly postulated. But there's a lot of misinterpretation of your candidate in the media as regards his credentials, his personality. Some have talked about his name. Some have made reference to his speeches, his coherence and things like that. How would you say you probably should know him more than us?
Yeah.
What do you say to Nigerians as regards some of these reactions that you've seen online?
You see, a president is not an all-purpose professional. It's not a doctor, it's not an engineer, it's not an economist, it's not this. It's a person who can aggregate opinions and take informed, decision that will benefit the country. And that is his character. He can listen, he can read very well, very, very well, overnight. It's very, very reasonable, no matter how I have been his detractor. So nobody has criticized him half of what I have done. But he's too capable to be detracted. There is nothing you can say that will take away the capacity of Bola Tinubu. It's pan-Nigerian opinion. It's discerning thinking. It's not a parochial thinker. He doesn't love you because of who you are. It's what you can contribute. If you're a brilliant person and you can add value to what he's thinking about, he's going to be your friend and he will listen. And that is the hallmark of a president. And the team is going to establish is very, very important. No sentiment at all. Appropriate, capable hand for capable responsibility. And then it will just be aggregating and then be taking decision. So it's an excellent person. Nigeria will move forward too fast for what you can imagine. It's from personal experience.
From Abuja. Let's hear Ola out. Good morning, Ola.
Hello. Good morning, Nifemi.
Good morning.
Yes, and I greet the head of statement there too.
Thank you.
My name is Ola. I'm calling from Abuja. Now, I think I'm going to disagree with the elder statesman there on his on many of the things he said about Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. Fine. As a Yoruba man, I will admit to the fact that in terms of capability, experience, Bola Tinubu has, he has it. Nobody can actually dispose it. But my grouse is about, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, Ola.
Yes, my grouse is about, asking the presidency to come to the Southwest. I'm a full-fledged Yoruba man, even though I'm based in Abuja presently. But, asking like a Yoruba person to become the president at this point in time, I think is an anathema to the principle of justice. In the last 23 years of our political dispensation, the Southwest has had a share of 15 years, 8 years as a president, and also 7 years as a VP. Asking asking the president to come to that part of the country at this point in time, I don't think is based on justice. That's one of the things I have against Tinubu's presidency. So, additionally, I want to agree with the last caller on what he said about the South-East, mixing it. Let me use that word. What I think they can do at this point in time, and I'm being very, very sincere with you, is for the Southeast to kill behind Atiku Abubakar from the North. I'm not being political, I'm just saying it as it is, because if they don't do it, it means for Southeast to have a shot at the presidency, it will be until 2041. Underline 2041, because if Tinubu, for instance, wins the election, it means the South will have 8 years, as their own turn, before the presidency go back to the North. Before it come back to the Southeast, it will take another 16 years. So I wanted to just ponder on that.
I believe you made your point, Ola.
I think who is
Thank you for your contribution from Abuja. He's saying the only way for the Southeast is to go Atiku's way.
Well, that is endorsement. It's just like an Obasanjo endorsing Peter Obi. So that is his choice. But our own choice is the critical position of Nigeria today. How do we salvage this country? It's not a personality contest anymore. Who understands the politics of Nigeria enough? Let me give you an example. Look at how skillful this man they call Bola Tinubu is. To be able in this country to put the best professor as vice president and Bajabi Amila as speaker. And they performed as if they did not belong to the Southwest. You could see, I have been there at the National Assembly before. I know the sentiment of some areas in Nigeria. Unless you are a good person, you cannot lead them easily. Unless the skill, the intelligence, and the patience of a Bajabi Amila person. How many speakers had the same support from every part of Nigeria like him? So it is the skill you possess to develop a nation that we need now. Yes, ethnic personality is there, but, well, we are on it again. Who do you think is best for this job?
All right. Dikin Onora has called in from Lagos. Good morning, Dikin. You have just 1 minute.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, I am calling from has been seen as, I want to suggest and say something about what is happening. I know Yoruba men and their respect towards their elders, because since I joined a political party in Lagos since 1999, now from AD to AC, ACN to APC, I know them as the people that respect their elders. But I don't know what goes wrong now. If an elder says something that is not common to what their thoughts is, they start telling people another character I know them of. Like Senator knows me by person. I know him from PDP to APC now. We have hold meetings, but we have respect to elders. But we do, I don't know why. Some talks, because somebody endorsed to be, the Afenifere endorsed to be, talks to an elder. Talks start flying up and down. Babasanjo, talks start flying up and down. Who will they respect? Is it because of election? Let us hold our respect, them, and let us hold them high esteem as I know them.
We get your point, Dickie. Thank you so much for your contribution. Now, talking about holding elders in high esteem. We have to go in a short, we have just a few more minutes. Are you concerned about the absence of the president leading the APC campaign, or like what is promised?
You know, we know the character of leadership in Nigeria. Buhari will never deceive you. If he doesn't like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he will say so. There's nothing you can do for him. But once he said, I am going to support him, it's not a character that you can just think he's just going to talk like that. And I've asked some people, you are the existing president. You want an opposition to take over from you, and you will be comfortable in this country. So I don't think he has a choice. For his legacy to continue, for his project to continue, it's better for him to stand by Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
He's also promised to bequeath the legacy of a free and fair election. We've seen what is done with the electoral act.
Yes, it will be fair and fair. Bola Tinubu will win.
So the only support he can give to Bola Tinubu is campaign for him.
He will campaign. He will campaign at the appropriate time. I don't have any doubt. Look, Obasanjo's case, please, no matter how much you talk about Obasanjo, you are wasting time. The man has moved on. Leave him alone. You cannot change him. You cannot influence him. He doesn't even bother. He has said his own. The more you criticize, the more you talk, he will just look at you as ignorant. I have said my own. That is his own position. And that is in his character. Don't bother. He has made up his mind. He has made up his mind. You cannot, there is nothing you say that will affect him. No, 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 no.
Senator Adesheye Ogunlewe, former Minister of Works, Chieftain APC. It's been an exciting conversation with you.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning.